to become a data analyst, Python is one of the most important skills to learn. But figuring out where to start can be overwhelming. That's why in this video, I'm going to give you a clear 3-month roadmap to get started with Python for data analysis. I'll give you a week-by-week breakdown of what to learn, tools you can use, and ideas for knowledge checks. So let's get right into it. So getting started with month 1. This month, you are going to focus on learning the Python basics. In week 1 of month 1, you'll start out with setting up your development environment. Now there's a couple of ways you can do this. The first is to use Anaconda, which will give you really everything you need in just one install. Or if you want to do something a little bit more advanced, you can install Python locally on your computer and install an IDE like VS Code for development. I know that setting up a development environment is not the most exciting thing, but trust me, getting the setup right now will save you a lot of grief in the future. So this is an important step. Then after you set up your development environment and have Python installed, have a place to start coding, in week 1, you can start to learn about the basic Python variable types. This includes things like ints, floats, and booleans. In week 2, you're going to continue learning about Python variables, but this week you'll focus on more advanced Python variable types. This includes things like strings, lists, tuples, dictionaries, and sets. The key with these variables is to understand how they're defined, when to use them, and the different functions that are used with each of these different variable types. Moving on to week 3, once you have the basics of Python variables down, you can move on to learning about Python control flow and loops. In this week, you'll learn about if-else statements and for loops and while loops. Finally, in week 4, you can start learning about functions. In this week, you can learn how to define your own functions and how to determine when you need to define a function. And to make it a little bit more clear, I'll also mention that you'll learn about the types of functions, so the ones that take parameters versus the ones that don't. So what are some tools you can use to learn the Python basics? Well, I actually have a playlist of videos that teaches the Python basics that goes through everything from setting up your development environment all the way through to learning how to write functions. So if you like the video you're watching right now and you like how I explain things, then that playlist might be helpful to you as well. At least I think those videos are helpful, but you know, I might be a little biased. However, if videos aren't your thing and you would rather learn through reading and hands-on exercises, then W3 Schools has a great Python basics walkthrough that you could use as well. And it's free, which is also great. So the goal for month 1 is really to build your Python foundation. Now I know that the Python basics seems boring. I mean, you probably can't wait to get to some real data analysis. You probably really don't want to spend that much time defining integer variables. I get it. But the thing is, the basics are your foundation. And just like a house needs a strong foundation to stand, your Python foundation should be strong as well. So all the knowledge of the other Python libraries like Pandas and NumPy and Matplotlib that you learn on top of the Python basics will be strong as well. So how can you know you've accomplished this goal? Well, here is a knowledge check for you. At the end of month 1, can you write a function that takes a list of strings and returns only the words that start with a vowel? Once you have the foundation of your Python basics built, you can move on to learning about a real data analysis library, Pandas. In week 1, you are going to focus on installing Pandas, understanding the main Pandas data structures, which are DataFrames and series, and then you can learn how to read CSV files into a Pandas data frame and look at some basic descriptive statistics about it. Then moving on to week 2, you can start to learn about data cleaning techniques. This includes cleaning up column names, removing columns and rows, string cleaning, and dealing with missing data or duplicated data. Now this is a very important week because as a data analyst, data cleaning is a big part of the job. Then on to week 3, you can start learning about filtering the data frame. This is also a great time to start learning about the data frame index and how to use it. Finally, in week 4, you can start diving in to more advanced Pandas functions. This includes apply, merge, and group by. Apply is used to add new columns to a data frame. Merge is used to combine multiple data frames, and group by is used to summarize data by specific categories. These are functions that are heavily used when you're analyzing data with Pandas. So what are the tools for month 2? Well, I actually also have a Pandas playlist that will take you through all the concepts that I mentioned, and W3 Schools also has a Python Pandas walkthrough, so you can use that as well. Or you can even use the videos and the walkthrough together. Just an idea, but hey, I'll leave that up to you. So the goal at the end of month 1 is to just get comfortable with the Pandas syntax and understand the tools that it gives you. It's totally fine if you don't feel super confident with Pandas at this point, because that confidence is really something we're going to focus on building in month 3. So as a knowledge check for month 2, I have linked a Kaggle dataset in the description that contains information about breakfast cereals. So a good way to test your knowledge would be at the end of month 2, can you load that dataset into a Pandas data frame and answer the question, what is the average amount of protein by cereal type? Like I just mentioned, it is totally okay if you don't feel really confident with your Pandas skills or really even with your Python basic skills at the end of month 2. Personally, I found all these concepts really solidified in my brain once I started working on mini projects. And that's exactly what you're going to do in month 3. In month 3, you're going to focus on building out a mini exploratory data analysis project. So step 1 or week 1 in this project is to find a data set you would want to analyze. You can really use a data set dealing with any topic, even the cereal one that I've linked below. But the real fun of these data analysis projects is when you're analyzing a data set that deals with a topic that you're actually interested in. For example, if you're interested in basketball, maybe you find a data set that contains NBA stats to analyze. Or if you're interested in things like retail trends, you can find a data set about sales data for one of your favorite retail stores. And if you're really passionate about cereal, then hey, I have a data set for you. So once you have the data set in week 1, you can work on loading in that data set into Pandas, looking at the different columns that you have, and really starting to formulate questions that you have about the data set that could be answered with Pandas. I would aim for around 5 questions. So moving on to week 2, you have the data set you want to analyze. In week 2, you're going to focus on cleaning your data set using Pandas. So here you're going to look through your data set, you're going to see if you have any missing or duplicated values, if you have any values and columns that might need to be cleaned up, and you're really going to start mapping out your data cleaning game plan. And once you have that game plan in place, you're going to actually do the data cleaning. Then at the start of week 3, your data set should be cleaned and ready to go for data analysis. In weeks 3 and weeks 4, you can add in any columns you need using apply, and you can start grouping your data set by certain categories using group by. And the way that you add columns to your data set or group your data set will really depend on how you would need to manipulate the data set to answer those questions you defined in week 1. Now, weeks 3 and weeks 4 are also a great time to start learning how to visualize data using a Python library like Matplotlib or Seaborn. And I know it can feel like a lot and a little bit overwhelming to add in another library to learn in 2 weeks, but we're really just focusing on using Matplotlib or Seaborn to create basic data visualizations like bar charts or line charts. You're just trying to get an intro on how to use them for these basic visualizations. And I've also found that with these visualization libraries, it's easier to learn them as you're actually creating visualizations. So on to the tools that can help you in month 3. Hearing that month 3 consists of you creating a mini data analysis project may have caused a little bit of anxiety, and I can definitely understand that. The thought of creating a project is a little bit intimidating, and it may be hard to come up with a project idea at first. So I think the tools for month 3 are really just examples of how other people have used data sets to do a data analysis project. Now, if you watched my Pandas video series, you'll see I went through a real-world data set in that one, so you can kind of see how I ask questions about the data set and how I set up my analysis. I also have an exploratory data analysis video on the channel, which I'll link as well, and I have some Matplotlib tutorials as well if that's something you're interested in learning too. Beyond that, if you go onto Kaggle to find your data set, you'll also see examples of data projects that people have done with different data sets. You could even just Google beginner data analysis project ideas to kind of start to come up with data analysis project ideas as well. So the goal at the end of month 3 is to complete your mini exploratory data analysis project. If you are able to take a data set, answer 5 questions about the data set, and maybe even include a bar chart or a line chart in it, I think that that is great progress for month 3. And this month, there isn't really a knowledge check. The whole month is going to be one big knowledge check. As you're going through your data analysis project, you'll very quickly find the parts of Pandas that could use a bit of a knowledge review. For example, you might realize, hey, I don't completely understand how to use the apply function. So you'll go back, you'll review that content and learn how to apply it to your current data analysis project. And this is really where all the different parts are going to start to click. You'll see. All right, so with this roadmap in hand, you are ready to lock in and spend the next 3 months learning Python for data analysis. And I said it before in the video, and I will say it again just to really emphasize this. The goal of these 3 months is not to become a Python master. Mastery of Python is really something that comes over time and over completing several projects. Honestly, I've been using Python for data analysis for years, and there's still new things I come across to learn. So becoming a Python master is really just an ongoing journey. But the basics and just getting started and getting a mini data analysis project done, 3 months is definitely enough time for that. I hope this roadmap is helpful for you. If it is, I would love it if you considered subscribing to the channel and liking and sharing this video with someone else who is looking to learn Python for data analysis. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you in the next one.